Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the Port Charles 411. Today we're going to discuss a movie called Carpool Guy.
Okay, I need to know how you found this movie.
Amazon.
You stock soap stuff so much, it just pops up and it's like, hey, you need this.
I actually don't even remember. I think that I sent you a screenshot though, didn't I? So back in May, when I sent you the picture, I said, so I found this movie on Amazon and it came today. We need to do a show about it.
Okay, I'm now forever going to make fun of the fact that Amazon knows you just want soap stuff.
Hey, And in case you're interested, there are only 6 left in stock. And right now it's $8.08 on Prime. Yeah, so I actually can't even remember what I was looking for when I found it, but it popped up. And so there's the cover is, it has the traffic, what you see always the city signs, names. It's green. And then it has a cardboard sign being held up by a guy. And my husband was making fun of me because he's like, you looked at that and knew that was Anthony Geary? I'm like, yeah, his eyes. So Anthony Geary plays a homeless man. So where do we want to get started? Do we want to get started on who's in it?
Yeah, start with who's in it, and then we'll go with the storyline.
Okay, so it was actually directed by Corbin Bernsen, and he played Michael. And so it's advertised as 10 of the world's favorite daytime stars. Change lanes in this wickedly funny corporate comedy about life, love, and other bumpy rides. It's almost kind of Office Space-ish. It's like Office Space-ish.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
You've never seen Office Space. Okay.
I'm sorry I make you so mad with all the movies I have not watched.
I promise you I don't just sit around and watch TV all the time.
But see, I do. I sit around and watch TV way too much. But I watch TV. I don't watch movies. Because usually I'm watching stuff with the kids. So either it needs to be that rating, which is hard to find a good movie.
Yeah.
And it needs to be not a movie because they don't have the attention span for it unless it's a total teen show that then I don't want to watch.
So I know that a friend of yours just gave you a list of potentially life-changing movies, which some of them I don't agree with. You need to add Office Space onto that. I'm not going to say it's going to change your life, but it is, first of all, so many good quotes, and it is funny.
Okay. I will add it.
Okay.
I'm going to have an ever-running list of movies people think I need to watch.
Yep. But you watched Carpool Guy.
I did. Yeah, it's not that I won't watch movies. Also, I was kid-free for the week, so I watched Carpool Guy.
And it's soap actors. So, of course.
There was nothing bad. Emily was home that day, and I said, do you want to watch this with me? And she had no interest, but she could have watched that movie.
Oh, Madeline could have, easily.
Yes.
There was nothing.
Yes, it is kid-friendly.
Yeah.
So I don't even know that there's a bad word in it.
That's what I was just trying to think, too.
I think there might have been a bad word or two, but nothing.
It's PG-13.
Nothing worse than what you're hearing on the soap. So.
Right. So back to the actors. So directed by Corbin Bernsen, he plays Father Todd Williams on Young and the Restless, and we also had him on General Hospital as Carly's dad, John Durant.
I love the actor, but I just don't like him. As soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, you're such a jerk.
He was good on Psych. Okay, it's a show.
Stop referencing things I don't know.
I didn't know that you didn't know it. It's a TV show. You just went on a rant about how you only watch TV. Actually, that might not be a bad one. It's not bad. It's actually, that'd probably be a fun one for family. It was on USA.
Okay.
So
I'll check it out.
Corbin actually cast his real life mom, Jeanne Cooper, as Mrs. Lansford, who's also known as Catherine Chancellor on Young and the Restless.
I knew her. I just didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever. All right. No. So my favorite, obviously, is Sean Kanan because we actually talked to him. He's like our BFF now.
Of course.
Even though he probably doesn't know that he is. He is in my life. And he's AJ and Young and the Restless, Deacon Sharp. So he was like a main character in this.
He was.
So I liked that.
Kind of a jerk. But he was also...
Yeah.
He was your backstabbing friend.
Right. When we talk about the movie, we can get into more of whatever. He wasn't a jerk if his life would have been different in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Does that make sense? It will when we talk about it in a minute. And then Rick Hearst, who I always want to say his last name like Rebecca's and add a B in there, and it's not. It's Hearst. And I like that he's Rick in real life and Rick on GH, because then I can keep track of who all he is. And he's been in everything else. Scott Banning on Days, Alex Michael Spaulding on Guiding Light, Matt Clark on Young and the Restless, and Whipple, what did your handwriting say there?
Jones.
Oh, okay. Whipple Jones on Bold and Beautiful.
It took me a second to read it, too, so don't worry.
Normally I can read it, but you were jotting that down right beforehand.
And he played the main character, Joel.
Yes. And he was a good guy. I liked seeing him as a good guy, because normally he's not.
He was vulnerable. He was likable.
Yeah.
So, way to get up. But we also only know him as Rick Lansing. So we don't know who he is on the other shows.
That's true. But that's just how it goes. Once you're on GH, that's all you ever are in my mind. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
And then Patrika Darbo was also in this. We know her from Days of Our Lives as Nancy Wesley and Bold and the Beautiful Shirley Spectra. In this movie, she played Patty, but then she was also in Studio City with Sean.
Yes.
So that was nice, too. That I like seeing people who play together. And then...
Okay, do they have play dates outside of the show? Go ahead.
You know what I mean. And then the late Kristoff St Johns, who was Neil Winters on Young and the Restless, played Stephen in the movie.
Why do you have to bring us down like that?
Well, bring us up then.
Okay. Oh, well, I feel like the most popular, even though reading who everyone's played, Anthony Geary's only been on GH, but everyone knows him. I don't care what soap you are. You know Luke.
Yep.
He played the homeless guy, and Oliver
Fast. I forgot to write that down.
That's okay. It's not that important to the movie. You just see how he progresses. Mm-hmm. Who else do we not do? Lesli Kay. I don't know. Oh, the other Lois. You wrote bad, and that's not nice.
I wrote the bad Lois on GH.
Do happen to say that every once in a while when we're talking about her. But yeah, definitely better in this. She plays Vanessa in this, and bad Lois on GH. Molly Conlon on As the World Turns, Felicia Forrester, that's what I was going to guess, on Bold and Beautiful and Young and Restless. We do need to figure out how they do a crossover there, because as we were looking up who played what, there was a couple that crossed over.
Yeah.
Same characters.
Lauralee Bell, who plays Hope, was one of them also. She's Christine Blair on The Young and the Restless, but did a brief crossover to The Bold and Beautiful.
I don't feel like I can get into any other soap, but I really want to figure that out.
And then Lesli Kay kind of did the flip, where she was on The Bold and the Beautiful and did a brief crossover to Young and the Restless. So I don't know if that was at the same time.
Right.
Because we only do GH.
Right.
And then there was a quick blink if you miss it. Arthur Roberts plays Redwater, and he's known as Dr. Ted Rossiter on Days. So
he was another one. I knew his face, but I didn't know how I knew him.
Well, and that's why I said, because even on the DVD jacket, it says 10 of the world's favorite daytime stars, yet only lists 9.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, no, the guy with the white hair. And you did know who I was talking about.
I did.
So let's get started talking about the movie.
Yeah.
So we'll just read you the synopsis, which is Rick Hearst stars as Joel Goodman, an advertising executive determined to excel in his marriage and career. When his workaholic colleague unexpectedly passes away, Joel and his friend Tom, Sean Kanan, are forced to battle it out for the promotion and the coveted corner office. Convinced that his daily crawl in Los Angeles traffic is taking a toll on his career, Joel decides to pay a homeless man, Anthony Geary, to sit in the passenger seat of his car so he can use the carpool lane. I'm sorry, that's actually kind of genius.
It is. And
he paid him, so it's not like...
I was concerned the first time that they did this that he wasn't going to bring him back. And I was like, well, even if you're homeless, you still have an area that you have your stuff in, so how is he getting back?
Right.
But he did bring him back.
After a rocky start, Joel and the carpool guy form an unexpected bond and learn that changing lanes can change your life. The star-studded cast includes... I guess we could have really read all this, too. So the star-studded cast includes Jeanne Cooper as Joel's feisty employer, director Corbin Bernsen as Michael Lunsford, a mama's boy who turns out to be mama's worst nightmare, Kristoff St Johns as Joel's gay arch nemesis, and Lauralee Bell, who shines as Joel's free-spirited wife, Hope. Patrika Darbo, Lesli Kay, Sharon Case, and others make Carpool Guy one wild journey on the highway of life. And Sharon Case, who that might have been the 10th person that they're referring to. Sorry, we did not read that far into but she played Sharon Newman on The Young and the Restless and Dr. Dawn Winthrop on General Hospital.
Okay.
and Debbie Simon on As the World Turns. So she has a soap background. So yeah, sorry. Why isn't she on the list?
I don't know.
Okay, whatever.
Well, and then that's actually 11, so they've quoted that wrong too.
Exactly. Why doesn't it just say a mix
There you go.
of the worlds? Anyway.
So you said before we started, or you said when we started, that your husband made fun of you for knowing who that was. I didn't look at the cover. Like when you handed it to me, I took it home, I popped it out, I put it in my thing. I didn't look at it. And so for the first 3 minutes of the homeless guy talking, I'm like, I don't know who that is. And then same thing, it zeroed in on him instead of just the car scene or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw his eyes and I was like, oh my gosh, okay, that's Luke. I know who that is.
That is so funny. So where do you want to start talking about it? Overall, I liked it. It's definitely, it wasn't going to be an Academy Award winner.
It took me a little while to get into the storyline because I felt like they spent too much time in the beginning. It was arguing about him being late to work, him seeing the homeless guy and ignoring him, and then fighting with his wife. And it just kept kind of replaying that. And I know they wanted to show us this is why he had this revolutionary idea to pick up the homeless guy. But they just kept doing it over again. It was like Groundhog's Day. Okay, we get it. He's getting yelled at. Let's get him to work.
And they didn't do it in that quick montage where they show,
right?
Slap the alarm clock, get in the car, sip your coffee, you're late. You know, where they show the same thing.
Yes, you actually
20 times
see him fight traffic and do it, and it felt like, I'm sure it was only 3 times, but it felt like way too many times because they kept dragging it out. But once it got started, then he was in competition for. Oh, that dead guy was creepy.
That was creepy. They actually showed it, and I mean, it wasn't horrifying, but he was blue.
Yeah, and stiff, couldn't put his arm back down.
Yeah,
the guy whose corner office they're fighting over. I don't know.
Well, I forget.
Okay.
But Tom, Sean Kanan, just wanted the chair. He didn't even care about it.
Right.
So.
Yes. Yeah, and that's where we were talking about he was being a creep. One of the first scenes is them in a board meeting or in a whatever meeting talking about the new ads, and he was sliding under the table trying to play footsies with that chick and flirting with her, and then you just thought he was a creep. But fast forward a few minutes later and he's at home with his wife and 2 kids.
Yep.
So shouldn't be trying to hook up with the other office staff.
Yeah.
Or anyone else for that matter.
But it's very, very true. And it was really nice to see, like you said, Rick Hearst in a different role.
Yes.
We're accustomed.
Right, because he's a good husband. So the argument was that he was always late to get to work and he was always late getting home. So his wife was frustrated and over that whole situation. But he really was trying to make a good home for them. They had a nice house. He said they lived further out because they didn't want to be, in the city or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so he was a nice guy, which we don't get to see him as at all.
And I don't think she worked.
I don't think she
I was under the impression that she didn't. And then she winds up getting a friend, Steven, who's Kristoff St Johns, and he's gay, but very uncomfortable situations. There's one scene where he comes home and she's in the bedroom with candlelight and Steven walks out of the bathroom in Joel's robe.
Mm-hmm. And that music playing, that wasn't
so get it on music.
It was not relax with my friend music at all.
No. So it was very weird.
Mm-hmm. And he played, we talk about stereotypes all the time whenever we're talking about stuff, but totally stereotypical gay man.
Absolutely, yeah.
Sharp dresser, the hand motions, everything. You could tell it was a little too overdone and have you question, is he really gay?
Well, and did you think about if this movie was made now, so many things would be different in it.
Oh, yeah.
And they weren't derogatory, but it was just of
that time, things were different.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, he's uncomfortable with his wife is even gay or not,
Right. It was an inappropriate relationship because she was spending so much time with someone other than her husband.
It can be a girlfriend too. It can
absolutely.
Be anyone else that replaces who your spouse is supposed to be.
Right.
It can be unnerving, so it could have been, I don't know, it could have been a TV show that she was always constantly watching or something, so it's not just the fact that she was, but it didn't help that there was another guy in his house all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he even made the comment where, yeah, she and I are here. Well, because he said, I'm working hard for our family. And he's like, well, I'm here keeping her company while you're off living your life.
Right.
And when they were talking about having a baby, did you pick up on the names?
Of the baby name book? No.
Okay. So Stephen busts out. So Joel and Hope have this discussion about possibly having a baby. Joel doesn't want one. She does. But then I guess like a night or two later, Joel comes home from work and Stephen's sitting there reading a baby book, a name book. And Joel's looking at her like, why does he know this is possibly happening in our life?
Right.
Or why this is even a discussion.
Right. We hadn't decided we're doing it yet. So why are we picking out baby names with our best friend?
Right. So then, and it's not like Stephen walked in the room and saw the baby name book and said, oh,
right.
It was very obvious. Like he was invested in what this child was going to be. So he opens the book and he goes, Barbara, or Belle, or maybe Carly. And then if it's a boy, it could be Tad, or Bo, or Jason.
Oh.
All soap names.
Those are all. I got the Jason. I wasn't paying attention to the other ones.
So it was Carly, and then when I heard Tad, and then Jason, I was like, okay, so I rewound it. And so Barbara Ryan was a character on As the World Turns, Belle Black as Days, Carly's General Hospital, Tad All My Children, Bo was on Days, and Jason's also on General Hospital. And at the end of the movie, two names that they say are Liam and Luke.
Yes.
So
yes, I wrote that down. That was adorable.
And one thing I forgot to say was that casting was done by Mark Teschner, who is casting director for General Hospital.
Awesome.
So he kind of has an in.
Yeah.
Just
a little. I did like all the soap placement. The baby names, I didn't pay attention to all of them, but like I said, I got some of them. And then there was Michael was arguing with his mom about something. I can't remember what now, but she was laying in bed and she's reading Soap Opera Digest. Yep. And then later in the show, he's eavesdropping from a bathroom stall and he's reading Soap Opera Weekly.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, that's so funny. I couldn't read what episode. I wanted to like pause it and figure out what storyline was going on.
I thought that I recognized the shape of Alan on the cover of Soap Opera Digest, but then because she flips and I thought it was Jason was on the inside. But they definitely blurred it so that you could read. It wasn't an obvious product placement, but it was really nice that pretty much the only periodicals that they had were soap magazines.
Yeah.
So thank you.
That was really cute.
And Tony Geary was wearing Amsterdam, like a shirt that says Amsterdam on it.
Yes.
He seriously loves that place because, I mean, that's where Luke went. That's where he went.
Yeah. Never been.
And being that they work in an advertising firm, they were pitching for Oreck vacuums. And it was actually the founder, David Oreck, that was in the movie sitting in the Oreck vacuum pitch. So that was pretty cool.
That was cool. I thought that's who that was, but I wasn't 100% positive.
He's also the guy in the commercials.
Yeah.
If we even watch commercials anymore.
I don't watch commercials anymore, but I know, like I said, I thought, but I wasn't. Sometimes they find characters that look pretty darn close to
absolutely
who they're supposed to be. So I wasn't 100% positive with that one.
I don't really want to give away the ending or anything.
I know. That's what I was going to say. It's hard to talk about, but not talk about.
I do recommend it.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of soaps.
Right. And you're missing your soap time now because of nothing being new.
You're going to enjoy it.
Yeah. It was cute. Not life-changing, but it was cute.
Right. I do not regret having bought it or having watched it.
Right.
And I might watch it again.
There you go.
So if you have a favorite movie or I guess anything other than soap operas that maybe
that Amazon's not already going to recommend it.
But I mean, so we found the General Hospital board game. We have had other movies that we've talked about. We talked about watching Chasing Holden. We watched Studio City.
Right.
We want to watch The Bay, but Amazon won't let us go back to season 1.
We need to do Night Shift.
We have to do Night Shift. We have to do Port Charles. But things like that, more specifically, at least one, if not more, General Hospital.
Oh, yeah.
Actors have to be in it for us to.
Right.
This is a General Hospital podcast, not.
Amanda can't pay attention if there's not some hot GH stars in it. I'm sorry.
What if it's all women? But so if there's just a
favorite. There could be hot women. I didn't mean it one way or the other.
So if there's just a favorite thing that you have, or even music albums. I mean, or books written. Right. Jonathan Jackson has released albums and books. So
yeah,
stuff like that.
We're open to anything.
Let us know what you love about, I guess, our actors outside of General Hospital. and things that they might have done. We're open to all suggestions.
Yes.
So I guess that's really it. I mean, I really enjoyed it.
I did. It was really cute. Yep.
So join us on Monday as we recap this week's episodes.
And have a good weekend.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to pier54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Pier 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at pier54podcast@gmail.com.